Գյուրջան Կասկադ, ցանկացած համեմատություն մեր օգտին է։
Well, thank you very much. Good morning, dear colleagues. It goes without saying that I'm also happy for this opportunity to have this discussion with you and share my thoughts as well. Well, whatever we say about interconnectivity, about making efforts to increase the international trade, transit, because also with the understanding that it will bring also to more people-to-people contacts, intercultural, deepening of intercultural relationship, etc. Whatever we say, that will sound good. So everybody, I believe, in this room understands that increasing the interconnectivity and interdependence will be beneficial from the economic aspect. But also, to put my ideas more clear, my country, Armenia, is a landlocked country. So there in Armenia, we understand the importance of the international trade, etc., and connections, probably more or at least no less than others in the room, but that's not the end of the story. We're not only a landlocked country, we have only 4 neighbors with only 2 open borders. Our borders with the other 2 neighbors are closed, have been closed for already 30 decades. But this is a topic probably for another discussion. For this discussion, I think it would be enough to mention that we are engaged in negotiations with both neighbors with closed borders to make it possible to open the borders, to establish normal relations. But there is, I said that there are 2 aspects of the issue, so economic benefits, but also political aspects. We believe that the interconnectivity not only is increasing the interconnectivity, is beneficial not only from economic aspect of the issue, but also it brings more, as I said, interdependence and also thus becoming a significant factor for peace as well. We believe that's the case, at least in our region. So to prove and to show our interest and readiness to be engaged in regional transit routes, making efforts to increase the trade, etc., we came up with an initiative. We called it Crossroads of Peace. So in this title, you can see that we see this project as not only an economic tool, but also, as I said, a factor of potential peace in the region. So according to this initiative, we are going to unblock, we suggest to unblock all the transit routes, all the transport infrastructure in the region, which is in our region quite well blocked. And we see this infrastructure to, we see 4 conditions for an environment in which these infrastructures could be unblocked. And I will share these principles with you, and I'm hopeful that everyone in the room will find these conditions or this environment fair enough. So the first thing is that the infrastructure which is going to be unblocked should remain under sovereignty of the countries on the territories of which they exist. This could seem a natural thing. I mean, no one else could see even a necessity to discuss the things, but when it comes to our region, the details are very important. The second thing is that all infrastructure should function according to the national legislation of the countries. Of course, having in mind that also the distinguished colleagues refer to simplification of procedures. We live in the 21st century. We need to simplify procedures. There are modern solutions, there are technologies. I mean, it's not necessary to keep the people in line with the border for passport control procedures, but you can use, I don't know, eye scanners, etc. You can use electronic scanners for cargo nowadays. So if there is a political will, we always can find solutions as well. And a couple of 2 things, and I understand that I'm taking much of your time, but also to nature of things, to me nature. So everything which is going to be done should be done in accordance with the principles of equality and reciprocity. I cannot demand from my Iraqi colleague to grant me an access to use their railways while denying them to use our railways in accordance with the principles and reciprocity. So there are details on which we can work together if there is again political will, and we in Armenia were more than ready to be.
It's an interesting interplay between economy and diplomacy. I'm sure that hopefully we'll have time to do a second pass of our guests, and I'm sure people will want to ask you more about that. Thank you. Let's hand over now to the Foreign Affairs Minister.